Hey guys, just thought I'd pop in and give you guys an update on the old Pro Street and see where we're at and what we've done so far and what it looks like. So I think the last time we talked, we were talking about colors and getting it painted and so on and so forth, and we got her painted. Just want to show you a few things that I've done so far with the actual engine. So the engine, I completed the carburetor set and it looks really nice. I've run some fuel lines and it's got a distribution block here, run the fuel lines up here. Hindsight being 2020, I think what I'd do is run these fuel lines out here and here and bring them out front. But it brings in an interesting problem because here's your coolant hose. So your coolant hose will be in the way for your distribution block. So that's something to think about on the next one that I do. Painted the heads chrome, and actually I think I painted and polished aluminum. Put one header on because it's very difficult to put these headers in. Once you it's difficult to put the motor in once you get the headers on, so I just put one in so I could get where I'm at. And with the headers, what I did is I cut them off. There's a nub sticking in here, so you can see it's hanging on something, and I just took some aluminum rod, fit it right over, and it looks like a really nice collector. So let's see if I have an actual header, the actual other header sitting over here. So here's the other header. So you can see there's where it goes. It goes to this line right here. So if I slide it, see, it goes right up there. So not glued yet. I'm not sure if I'll at a later date try to run a different exhaust on it, but it's a really good looking motor. I painted it Chevy red orange to look kind of factory. I am not running a fan on this because of the room that I have available, so I'm going to do an electric fan on it. Here's the frame. What we did on the frame is we narrowed these down, and I cut these down, and we're all primed up. I got A-arms in there, or I got the spindles in there, but I don't have the pinion coming out. So we've got some work to do in there yet, but I've got the hole drilled. I just wanted to wait until I had the frame set in the body so I can get an actual height. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the height because I've got them drilled on both sides. Right there. But we're ready to rock on this. I just got to paint it. So, speaking of which, I've got color down on the car. And this is what we came up with, and it really does. When you get in this light, it picks up that gold, boy. So traditional white, two-tone with the white. You gotta have, to me, it's just gotta have that white. I got the hood ready to go. So what you're looking at from a color standpoint is, for the white, we just use this bright white base coat. And then over that, I sprayed this interference pearl gold, and you can see the gold flake in it. And it basically, all that basically is just a clear with gold flake in it, and it gives you this gold texture. So, and you can see how it shows up. So, got some cleaning up to do. You can see a little dust on it here and there, but and then the red, or I don't know if you want to call this orange or red, but yeah, it's definitely got dust on it. Wow. The orange red is basically House of Color Cinder Red, and that's their base coat. And then what I sprayed over it was this Splash Orange Candy, and it gave me that color, which I love. I've already put the taillights in. I've already put the headlights in. I've got the windows in, and the windows need some cleaning up before I put the body on. So one of the things I want to talk about real quick is panel lines. So one of the things when I first started was that I struggled with mightily was panel lines, and I'd always skip out. So for years and years, I've always used the back of a hobby knife. I'd go through there and I'd always skip out. Well, then I graduated to this tool. This is the Tamiya Scriber. And it's got that blade that comes out. But what I've found with this Tamiya Scriber, it's a really nice tool, but I feel like when I scribe the lines, they become way too wide for the scale. I feel like they do. So then I switched to this. This is Tamiya's Fine Engraver. Now they sell these to you different sizes, and you buy the handle separately. And I use, they're color coded, so I use the green one. See that green? I think that's their 0.2. So, and I find that it gives me the exact depth that I need. So if you look at this trunk, for instance, if I would have used the Tamiya Scriber, those would have been much wider and much deeper actually with that scriber. And I feel like this is able to get that depth, but they're narrow. So those lines aren't as wide, and it doesn't know. I just found that they were too wide for the scale, in my opinion. So everybody's got their own opinion. That's the great thing about modeling. Everybody's got their own opinion. Everybody's got their own way of doing things. They've got their own process, and it works for them. They've been doing it that way for years, and who's to say it's wrong? That's the one thing, the one mistake that I think a lot of people do is they start talking about wrong and right. Well, if it accomplishes the goal, then it's not wrong. I guarantee you, the way I'm building this, I bet you 5 other builders out of 10 would build it completely different, or maybe even more, 7 builders, 8 builders. I'm gonna stand up a minute here. I really like that gold in that light. I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna talk about the windows a little bit. So this is a fine example of what I'm talking about. So windows. When I do windows, what I do is I take the car and I roll it upside down, and then I tape the windows in, and I get them nice and tight. And then around the edges, what I'll do is I'll use super glue. If the window's got a tight fit, or the window kind of like has a click when you click it in, some of them are like that, I'll use just regular old Tester's window maker glue. But when they're not, and I need some strength, I use this glue. And what this glue is it's non-scented. It's basically doesn't have the fumes. It doesn't have the it's called odorless. And what I found is when they talk about using super glue for windows, they say, well, super glue fogs it. The fumes is what makes it fog, not the actual glue. It's the fumes. If you use this odorless, I have, in my experience, have not had any problem. Like I said, it doesn't make my way the number one way, the right way to do things. It's just the way I do it. Another thing about this glue that I like a lot, and it does take a little longer to set, but it dries clear versus the other stuff, which we all know and love, which is right there up on my shelf. It has a haze to it when it dries. So just a food for thought. Well, I think that's it for today. A 10-minute video is a long video for me, so I'm going to get out of here. Everybody have a nice evening, and I'll see you on the next update, guys. This is Terry. I'm out.